people like Dr. Phil have asked her, about her being part of the con and this, that, and the other. And her response is always, my mother taught me to lie really well. But nobody has put the two together that I've seen that, okay, your mother taught you to lie really well. You're admitting you're part of the con. Where does Munchausen by proxy come in? It didn't come in. It didn't come in until her lawyer was looking for a way to get her off on the murder charge. That's really what it comes down to. And even her lawyer knew that that wasn't going to stick. And that's why he told her, you're going to have to take the plea deal. Otherwise, she was going up for life in prison. That's what they were going after. They wanted to lock her up about as long as they wanted to lock up Nick. But it was also an election year, and that mayor wanted to be reelected. And Gypsy came off and pretended to be a disabled child. Now, you got to remember also in her interviews or the interrogation, when she was sitting there, she pretended to be disabled still. She knew, I can't go to jail. I have a lot of medical issues. But she's already admitted before that and even wrote a note to Dee Dee that she knew she wasn't sick. So right from the bat, she went off starting on the poor me, woe is me, I'm sick, I'm disabled. There was even the clip of when the guy was in there, when he left, she took her teeth out. And when he walked away, she put it back in. She wanted to look homely. She wanted to look disabled. She wanted to look pitiful. So, but yeah, I would love for somebody in her face on an interview to ask her, why would your mother need to teach you to be a good liar if your mother had Munchausen's? Because Munchausen's means she was legitimately making you sick by giving you things you didn't need and doing things to make you ill. You wouldn't have had to lie.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard says, I can't wait for the day that any content creator reads those Facebook messages because it's not going to be what people think it's going to be. What?
Since law enforcement had the evidence, Gypsy had to admit on the stand that she wrote out many of these intimate, violent fantasies.
These were all fantasies that the two of you had, correct?
Yes, sir.
Collectively.
Yes, sir.
You guys did this with some regularity, correct?
Yes.
Oh.
And you willingly agreed to make these videos.
Yes.
And you also yourself wrote some letters and stories to them all second, correct?
Yes.
Wrote for him.
Yes.
Maybe I have this confused. What is it called when you lie under oath? Oh, perjury.
Girl, real quick before we spill this tea, where are you watching from and what time is it right now? Drop it in the comments, bestie. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and grab a snack because this one, oh my god, you're not gonna believe it. So listen, just in case you may have missed my last video on Gypsy Rose, I go more in depth on that one, so go watch it on my YouTube channel, but for those of you who missed it, here's the tea. Apparently, the most diabolical thing might be about to happen to Miss Gypsy Rose Blanchard. And honestly, when I first saw this, I was like, no way. But allegedly, there's a creator who went and filed a FOIA request, actual government documents, baby. And they supposedly got their hands on never-before-seen stuff. I'm talking over 100 videos Gypsy allegedly sent to Nicholas Godejohn back in the day. And bestie, do y'all remember what she did with that toothbrush? Yeah, not for dental hygiene, let's just say that. And oh, apparently there's even footage where she talks about her future child and says she'd hand the kid over to their father when they turned 13 because he'd be the man of the house. Girl, what? So yeah, all those videos, the ones where she was, admitting some pretty disturbing stuff, asking if Nick was like her in the head, all of it might be coming out soon. And baby, if that's true, the internet's about to go feral. Because when this stuff drops, allegedly, it could be the downfall of Gypsy Rose 2.0. That rebrand might be over, girl. I'm telling you, Gypsy is not gonna be happy about this.
To be just as inspiring now as she was then. A lot of people don't know, but Gypsy Rose was like a public speaker, honey. She sure the hell was. She went and she spoke about how she was surviving through all her medical issues and all around flying to conferences. That is what she still wants to this day. That's why she pushes the narrative so hard that Dee Dee Blanchard had Munchausen by proxy. That all the
I can't even imagine how crazy it was. If something like that would, because you have these moments in your life, you're being supportive of somebody, they're dealing with a disease, a syndrome, and then
but it was real to her. I mean,
oh, totally.
So she was a child, you know.
Yeah.
She was a baby child.
But then suddenly it'd be like a national thing. And you're like, what is going on?
I can't believe I was part of that, but you don't know at the time, and neither did she. So
yeah,
it was just like, her mom worked the system, and it worked because we all met her, the whole country music community. Ask any of us.
Oh, so
she was part of it. She was in it. Yeah.
She was hobnobbing.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? We've been watching this slow unravel for a minute, and it's kind of wild to see it play out in real time. So recently, Gypsy posted this 3-part essay on social media, talking about how people are invalidating her abuse and why everyone needs to stop questioning her story. And okay, I get it. She's a complex, controversial figure. But here's where it gets messy. She opens up by saying she knows she's controversial. Fair. But instead of addressing why she's controversial, she kind of flips the script, acting like people just don't get her trauma. Then she admits her mom was never officially diagnosed with Munchausen by proxy, but says experts strongly believe she had it. And girl, that's not evidence, that's persuasion. That's like saying, well, everyone thinks it's true, so it must be.
Gypsy's recent statement, she is now saying that she's reminding you that she lied previously, but now admits that she has 12q1.1. But she wants to assure you that despite this, all her surgeries were not necessary. Yes, they were, because you have microdeletions 12q1.1. She wants you to take her word for it, because she's so innocent and light, that every single doctor decided to happily throw away their years and years of study and career over a mother's word and just abuse an innocent child without any checks. Come on. I think it's game over, Gypsy. Absolutely diabolical.
It's a pivot. Then she blames inaccuracies in her memoir on how other people told her story. Like, okay, but if the details keep changing, that's not healing, bestie. That's editing. So now it's like, if her story doesn't add up, it's her co-author's fault. If the details shift, it's part of her healing journey. And if you question it, you're invalidating her trauma. Like, no girl, that's not accountability. That's PR. And then she drops that manipulative line, would you feel the same way if I had died and my mom lived? Girl, that's not deep. That's emotional deflection. It's turning a serious question into a sympathy play. And did y'all notice she limited comments? Because she wants to talk at the public, not with them. Here's the thing, bestie. Gypsy isn't just defending her trauma. She's rewriting her own story in real time. Every time someone calls out a contradiction, boom, another long post appears, rewriting the narrative. It's not about healing. It's about maintaining the image of the misunderstood survivor, instead of confronting the fact that she might have also caused harm. And the real tea? Allegedly, her mom might not have had Munchausen by proxy at all. Some people believe Gypsy herself may have been manipulating that narrative to justify her actions. Because if you think about it, who's the survivor and who's the perpetrator? Real talk, healing happens quietly. Rebranding happens in a carousel post.
Rod says in an interview that his daughter, Gypsy Rose, had so many issues because of her microdeletion, and that's why she needed the feeding tube and the wheelchair. Perhaps that's the reason why no lawyers would take the case for malpractice. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think this could be a possibility? Let me know.
Wheelchair. And I asked her, I said, man, she's got a lot of issues. What's going on, and they had done some tests and found out she had a chromosome disorder that was causing all of her functions from developing, her digestive system and her muscular system.
Like my parents and my dad and stepmom tried to look for an attorney that can take my case for a malpractice lawsuit, and I don't think anyone wants to touch it. Like I've not been able to find one.
Really?
Yeah, no, that's really surprising actually.
It seems so obvious.
Maybe there's some lawyers listening to this.
Yeah, I need some legal advice.
That seems shocking and very disappointing.
Did Rod, Gypsy's dad, just let the cat out of the bag in that interview, saying that all the procedures and treatment was due to Gypsy's microdeletion, and that's why none of the lawyers would take the case because it was medically necessary? Let me know what you think.
Okay, so let's get into the medical files because this part right here. So question, was Dee Dee, Gypsy's mom, actually lying on purpose about her daughter's conditions? Or was she a desperate mother trying to figure out what was wrong with her kid? Because according to Gypsy herself, she was lying about certain things, like pretending she couldn't walk. Meanwhile, Dee Dee was repeating what doctors actually told her. Now, let's go back. Gypsy was 9, not 6, when that motorcycle accident happened. You know, the one she claims started the wheelchair thing. The doctor's diagnosis? Myopathy. That's literally a real muscle disease where the fibers don't function right, confirmed by lab tests. Then in 2001, another test said her muscle fibers were slightly irregular. From there, between 2004 and 2005, doctors were calling it an unclassified neuromuscular disease. Then it became muscular dystrophy. So yeah, by 2005, she had an official diagnosis of formal muscular dystrophy. Then, boom, Hurricane Katrina hits. They moved to Missouri. And there's actual paperwork showing Dee Dee requested Gypsy's medical info be sent from Louisiana to Missouri. So that whole Dee Dee said the records were destroyed thing, allegedly not true. It was the hospital that didn't send everything over. And then in the Missouri files, there's a note that says, probably not muscular dystrophy because of neural components. It also mentions Dee Dee had memory issues after her own car accident, like literal head trauma. So now I'm like, wait, was she confused or was she lying? Because if Gypsy was faking symptoms, which her medical notes suggest might be the case, then Dee Dee might have actually been repeating what she was told. It's giving both things can be true. Now, Gypsy's always said her mom forced her to use a CPAP machine, like she didn't need it, but
Just want to take a minute to show the world how Gypsy Rose Blanchard is manipulating the hell out of all of us. If you remember, Gypsy Rose hopped her butt on TikTok and flat out was like, oh, there's nothing in my medical records that says why my teeth were ripped out of my head. He's worked really fucking hard to make us believe that Dee Dee walked into a damn dental place and was like, my kids' teeth are crumbling. Just take them all out right now. Go ahead. But you're supposed to believe that those dentists did no kind of nothing, no x-rays, nothing, and just snatched her damn teeth out. Gypsy Rose's medical records explain exactly why she had her damn teeth removed. Below me, it talks about Gypsy being 17 years old and how she has a history of dental caries, which is cavities. Hell yeah, in 2012, they calling her a child because they still lying about her age, baby. The chief complaint in this one was that Gypsy needed her wisdom teeth taken out. Names the doctor that did the dental rehabilitation. Here it says Gypsy was 17. She had a history of dental caries.
Also says that Gypsy has a history of impacted and mal-erupted teeth, and then it numbers the teeth, number 1, 16, 17, and 32. Back there, numbering which teeth lets you know they did x-rays on these damn teeth. On my YT video, I go over these records more in depth, and I make sure to point out that the doctors documented Gypsy Rose's oral hygiene as poor, honey. Rip them damn teeth out from that, and go check out my YT, Ashley Baby One. Bye.
girl, the medical records, they tell a very different story. In 2004, when she was 12, she had a full overnight sleep study. They were testing her because she had nocturnal hypoventilation. Basically, her oxygen levels were dropping when she slept. And it literally says her breathing issues resolved with the CPAP, meaning the test proved she needed it. So this whole Dee Dee forced doctors narrative doesn't really match up with what's on paper. The machine wasn't torture, like it was treatment. Okay, now this part makes my brain hurt. So Gypsy lived around her dad, stepmom, and extended family in Louisiana until she was 14. Then 4 years later, they moved to Missouri, meaning she was like 18 when Hurricane Katrina happened. So how did Dee Dee supposedly roll back her age 4 years and Gypsy didn't notice? Like, girl, you had double birthdays and didn't think twice. Unless, I mean, something else was going on mentally. Or maybe, just maybe, that story's been exaggerated too, because it's kind of wild to think your whole family saw you regularly for 14 years and no one noticed your age being changed, like, unless they were in on it or something.
That right there. So Gypsy claims she knew she could walk. She claims she knew she wasn't sick. So if that's the case, she went to the Special Olympics and she knew she didn't belong there. So she's looking around and she's seeing all these kids who are legitimately disabled, who legitimately belong in these wheelchairs, who struggle, who have physical disabilities. She knows she doesn't belong there and she didn't think to tell somebody. Or even you didn't have to tell anybody. Just don't participate. Ready, set, go, and then don't move. Like, seriously, what made her think it was okay? I can tell you what. Narcissism and the con. And she already admitted that her mom taught her how to be a good liar. So once again, if her mom truly had Munchausen, she wouldn't have had to teach Gypsy how to lie. Munchausen by proxy means her mother was making her ill. And if her mother was making her ill, Gypsy would legitimately have been ill. Like, they force medicate, they do things on purpose to make the child ill.
And then we've got the swallow test. Yeah, allegedly, the doctors thought Gypsy's gagging and coughing were behavioral, not physical. So they literally wrote that in her records. Then later, in 2011, she was labeled developmentally delayed. But that same year, she was already an adult, 19 years old. So was she acting the part? And don't forget, Gypsy herself told Nick that she lied to her mom about her legs, pretending she couldn't feel them. She even said she couldn't tell the truth or she'd lose all her friends. Like, girl, what friends? You said you didn't have any. It's like every version of her story contradicts the last.
Dee Dee wasn't doing that. Munchausen by proxy doesn't mean you're going to go to your kid and tell them to lie about being sick. You're legitimately making them sick. So no, Gypsy, your mother didn't have Munchausen's. Your mother wasn't faking all the symptoms. We've already established the timeline. And that's what's making her spiral. The fact that all the evidence is out. We can piece it all together. All the surgeries and medical procedures, minus the teeth, were all done before they even knew what the microdeletion was. She was having those symptoms. And she says that all the tests were unnecessary. No, if you were having symptoms of something, they were very necessary. They had to figure it out. And yes, a lot of things are going to get ruled out. Do you know how many medical tests I've had done? At one point, I was told that my symptoms could possibly have been stomach cancer. And so you know what? They went and they did all the tests. And I don't have stomach cancer. Like, that's when you're sick, you go to the doctor, they run tests, they do things. Anyways, we're going to continue this conversation, but thank you for pointing that out because it's the one thing we didn't mention. But yes, she went to the Special Olympics. She knew she didn't belong there. She stole that prize from kids. She wanted the attention because Gypsy pick me, love me. I need validation. I need attention. And that's been her entire life. Well, she's getting it now, but apparently she's not loving it.
And listen, once that stuff hits the light, it's game over. There's no spinning it, no poor me act, no crying on TikTok. Gypsy is about to get exposed for who she really is because the truth is messy and it doesn't come with a soft filter. Now, before the leak even drops, Gypsy's already out here running her little PR campaign, posting about how she suddenly has memory loss because of deep depression and trauma. Like, girl, this timing is wild. She's basically trying to soften the blow before we even see the files. That whole I don't remember routine, convenient, real convenient. And let's not even start on what she said about prison being simple and the real world being hard. Like, yeah, Gypsy, it's hard when you can't manipulate people anymore. It's hard when the victim card expired, out here acting like she's struggling because life outside doesn't come with a sympathy discount. Please. And y'all, even her own people knew who she was. Christy literally warned the detectives not to let Gypsy fool them, said straight up that she's smart and she knows exactly what she's doing. Rod, too. Don't get me wrong, at first they played the oh poor Gypsy card, but the second they saw there was money in that storyline, yeah, suddenly Gypsy was the victim. Funny how fast morals change when there's a check involved.
Who needs enemies when you have friends like Gypsy Rose has? Because here we had somebody who used to support Gypsy in the comments. And she says, show proof that Gypsy's surgeries were unnecessary because I've seen some crazy stuff lately. And I don't think that this is a horrible thing to request, especially if Gypsy wants to keep supporters. All they're asking is prove what she is saying and disprove what everybody else is saying. And of course, Gypsy's friends ran into the comments. Sheena said she owes you nothing, which would be true, Sheena, if Gypsy was not using this app to grift off of people, nor did she want support still. And this girl goes on to say, look, I've supported her. I've bought her books. I've watched her videos, her shows. And it turns out she lied. So she does owe us an explanation. Again, I think that's fair. And here comes more of her friends. Kelly Bell says, she doesn't owe you a fucking thing. Are you fucking serious?
And you can tell the way Gypsy twists things. It's manipulation 101. She told Nick her mom was dying from cancer and begged him to help end her suffering, said it was a mercy thing. That's how she got him to do what he did. She literally framed murder as an act of kindness. Like, what? Meanwhile, if you look back, she wasn't trapped the way she claimed. Girl was sneaking out of the house on foot, going to hospitals, knocking on neighbors' doors, asking for rides. Nobody was holding her hostage. The lies don't even line up. And don't get me started on that whole I didn't know my real age story. Girl had an ID CPS talk to her alone, asked if she was okay, and she said she was fine. You mean to tell me you can show government-issued ID but don't know how old you are? Come on now. Then there's that old clip where she's dragging her legs dramatically in the snow, acting like she can't walk, after telling everyone her mom was abusive for not letting her go outside. Like, girl, it's snowing. Dee was probably just trying to keep you from catching pneumonia, not imprisoning you.
On what grounds does purchasing a book or watching a TV show mean that an author or a person on TV owes you a goddamn thing? Well, Kelly, if they want us to believe their story, they need to come with some kind of proof, especially when that person had to pay money to see that story. And in friendly fashion, she told this girl, check yourself into the nearest emergency room. And this girl comes back and she calmly says, why are you yelling at me? I supported this girl because my cousin actually went through MVP, and it was awful. I felt such a connection to Gypsy's story, and I was so happy for her. And it turns out she's a big fat liar, and that's insulting to people who supported her. And then she calls Sheena and Kelly out by saying, apparently her friends are just as nasty as she is. And then Sheena goes on to say she owes no one, and especially information on her child, when the girl didn't even ask about her child. And this girl responds yet again and says, so basically it's my own fault for supporting her and believing her lies. And Sheena parrots Kelly by saying she owes you nothing because you bought a book. And this girl again says, so I'm an idiot for believing her? Got it.
At this point, Gypsy's whole brand is performance art. It's like she can't separate truth from the story she wants people to believe. And when these new documents drop, oh, we're all going to see it for ourselves. Because the Gypsy we've been seeing online, the sweet girl with the doe eyes and sad backstory, yeah, that might not be the full picture. And I'm telling you right now, when that curtain finally gets pulled back, phew, it's gonna be ugly.
And then Sheena continues to run her mouth, getting all upset, saying, well, you believe things you've seen or heard, and things that are not fact, which medical records, casebooks, investigator notes are all actual facts. Anyway, she says, I cannot keep fighting with people on here. Then log off, Sheena. And then she tells her, my advice is either research or find your own truth, which it is likely research that made this girl realize what a liar Gypsy is. And then Sheena says, I don't even know what to tell you. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just being rude. At all. And I know that Gypsy appreciates anyone's support, but she doesn't owe anyone an explanation. But why would we support somebody who isn't willing to explain shit? And I would love to give a big round of applause to this girl because she calls him out and says, you guys are brainwashed. And she reiterates that she did support her at one time. But there's too much coming out that she cannot debunk because you can't debunk facts. Anyways, if Gypsy hasn't figured it out by now, it's not just her that has caused her to lose supporters. It's her bottom of the barrel friends as well.
And honestly, karma did exactly what it was supposed to do when it snatched that teaching job right out from under Ryan. Like, how was this man even allowed around children? That's the real mystery here. The fact that someone like him was teaching kids, especially kids with special needs, like, is actually terrifying. Because let's be real, what exactly was he teaching? Like, I mean, I can just picture him in the classroom sitting behind a desk, cracking weird jokes, talking about Gypsy all day while the kids are just coloring. That's not a teacher. That's a glorified babysitter with a Wi-Fi connection and poor judgment. And you know what's even crazier? His own brother called him an embarrassment to the family. And I can't even disagree. Because Ryan has completely lost himself in this obsession. Like, he's so deep into Gypsy's world that he forgot to have his own life. Everything revolves around her drama, her lies, her woe is me routine. It's giving delusion, not devotion. And let's not forget that one comment that really raised eyebrows when Ryan said he fell for Gypsy the moment he saw her in prison stripes. Like, what? Who looks at someone being interviewed about unaliving their mother and says, yeah, that's wifey material? That's not romance. That's a red flag factory. Now, he claims this all started because of a bet with a coworker. Supposedly, the coworker said, I'm going to write Joe Exotic, and Ryan said, fine, I'll write Gypsy Rose. And boom, that's how their love story began. But here's the thing. That timeline doesn't even make sense because Ryan also said he fell for her after watching her in Stripes. So which one is it? The pen pal bet or the jailhouse crush? Because both can't be true.
So here's another one that doesn't add up for me. So Ryan says in a podcast that he knew Kenny was reaching out to Christy in hopes to sniff around to see if Gypsy is still looking to be with him.
We got out, she got out, we got home, and we had great 2 weeks. Like, beautiful. We went to New York. We did that whole trip in New York. We were together. We were great. And then my first day back to work, that's when I noticed a shift. And that's the day Christy told her all about Ken and how he's single and how he always loved you and always, you know, it's like a stab in the back to me.
But don't worry. Kenny swears up and down that he's not a homewrecker and he didn't reach out to Gypsy until after she broke up with Ryan.
his wife. The reality that he has a hard time gripping is that Gypsy left him. Gypsy didn't want to be with him anymore. And then we got together. So I didn't take anybody from anything. Okay, everybody has their own right to live and, do what they want to do. And Gypsy decided. And that's just the reality. So to say that I took her from him is just a crazy statement. She had the option and the free will, and she made the decision to leave him because she realized she didn't want to be with the dude anymore. And then we got together. So no, I didn't take anyone from anyone.
Honestly, it sounds like he was already fixated long before any letters were exchanged. And at this point, it's giving more fetish than fairy tale. The obsession, the savior complex, the refusal to walk away. Like, it's not love, it's addiction. And you can tell Ryan's not ready to face that yet. He's not going to just wake up one morning and go, you know what? I'm done with Gypsy. That's not happening anytime soon. The man has to hit rock bottom before he even starts to see clearly. If anything, I just hope he listens to his family, because his mom and brother, they see what's happening. They're not haters. They're just watching someone they love spiral. And honestly, who wouldn't be worried watching this train wreck unfold in real time?
It even gets to the point where Kenny denies that he even spoke with Christy at all. He actually denies reaching out. Even though Ryan says that it did happen 2 weeks after her release, and Gypsy and Christy admit on live television that Kenny did reach out.
Why is it that you went to Christy instead of just Gypsy herself? I'm just curious.
I didn't go to Christy for anything. I mean, me and Christy have retained a relationship of communication over the last.
And just in case you were thinking that Ryan was making up stories, here's Gypsy and Christy admitting that Kenny did reach out to confess his love. So which one do you think, guys? Do you think that Kenny was the homewrecker and he reached out to Gypsy before breaking up with Ryan, or do you think he's full of lies? Let me know.
Not Kraft. What's the one in the yellow box? Belvita. Yeah, shells and cheese. That'd probably be my favorite one. Yeah, but not a huge mac and cheese guy. Really not. Like, period. I don't know why. All right. V, I was right. Victoria, I was right. Yes. I did a cameo today for Sisters and Victoria and Rebecca, and they just said we live far apart in, one lives in Washington, one lives in Virginia. No, Maryland and Washington. One lives in Maryland, one lives in Washington, and they didn't tell me which one, so I just did a poll where I kind of guessed it. And I said, let me know. And V let me know that I was right. Yes. So y'all voted yes on the poll. Yes. See, in cameos, they get yeses. See, in cameos, you get polls. Damn, Otani hit another dinger. God bless. Come on, Blue Jays. Just this. Is make sure it's a T. I need a T because regular shirts are not. I have to get a T. I shop big and tall for the T. But I'm a 4XL T, but I could probably do 3X now. Kelly, thank you for the face tug. That's kind of cool that the graphic actually does that. Sorry to unfollow. Been a long-time supporter. Haven't gotten a single recognition on these lives. Asia, I'm sorry that you haven't got a recognition. I do apologize. I hope you don't unfollow me, Asia. I hope you decide to stay, Asia Jeanette. Honestly, I don't do it on purpose, sweetie. Please know I don't. You've seen all the comments, Asia. I wish you would stay, but I respect your decision. Okay? Brianna K. Hope you change your mind. Yeah, don't give up, Asia. Well, in Asia, then don't leave me. And don't leave me. If you appreciate me, don't leave me. I mean, guys, I don't do it on purpose. Maximus Mommy, I purchased a cameo message from you this evening. Please wear a Halloween costume like I requested. Maximus Mommy. I will think about that one. I mean, this is a Halloween sale. I get it, but I will look into it. I promise. I will look into it. All right? B said do it. I mean, if it was the one that bought the 24-hour option, then yeah, I'll probably do it. I have no problem doing it, so I'll figure it out. I'll figure out something. Oh, yes, Sarah, good for you. Grace, absolutely. Yeah, I can't respond to everybody. It's not that I don't want to respond. I just can't respond to everybody. Yeah, I could wear a Halloween costume. That's fine. Austin, it was the same as your mama's. when she had you in prison. I mean, what kind of question is that? It was good. When we got, but it's what it is. No, thank you, Susanna Marie. I appreciate you. I really appreciate you. Yeah, Bobby, thank you. It would be something if I had to address every comment. Who? Bo? Who? Really? Me and your husband had the same birthday in the same year? That's awesome. Like, I will say your husband must be an awesome dude. Let's just be honest, right? Your husband must be an awesome friggin' dude. Just saying. Pumpkin, read my message and reply. I will do my best, Pumpkin. I will read it. I promise you. Brianna K, what do you mean rate you? Like, I don't understand. Melly Boo, does it matter? Y'all know what I feel about that Yahoo. Who gives a shit? Brianna K. Favorite type of seafood, G? I love like fried catfish. It's gotta be fried catfish or fried shrimp, but I love boiled shrimp also. Like boiled shrimps.
At the end of the day, Gypsy is not the only one who needs to face reality. Ryan does too, because right now he's living in her fantasy. Anyway, that's all for today's deep dive, you guys. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Seriously, y'all always show so much love and support, and it means everything. Make sure you like the video, drop a comment, letting me know your thoughts on this whole Gypsy and Ryan situation. And of course, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the tea when it drops. Trust me, what's coming next, you don't want to miss it.